Hello everyone, welcome again to the world of fractions. Whether you are new to fractions or just need a refresher, you are in the right place. Today we are focusing on one of the most important skills in maths, multiplying fractions. We'll break it down step by step, showing you how easy it can be when you know the right tricks. So grab your pencils and let's get started on mastering multiplications with fractions. Now the question arises why we multiply fractions. We multiply them to find total just like addition and to find part of a whole or a fraction. Multiplication often takes less time than addition because it's more efficient in processing repeated operations. Multiplication is repeated addition. Instead of adding 5 4 times, we just multiply 5 by 4 to get the same result. This reduces the number of steps needed to arrive at the same result. Now look at this example. I have a fraction and I will multiply it by 4 to find total. Actually half of 4 means adding half 4 times. As you can see, first two halves make one whole, another two halves make another one whole. This means when half is multiplied by 4, we get two wholes. A point to be noted here that through multiplication the result is always a bigger number. As you can see, this half after multiplication becomes 2 wholes. It's easy to calculate half of something just like in previous question half of 4 means 2. So half of 10 means 5, half of 60 means 30 and so on. But when we have a fraction other than half, what should we do first? Look at this question and understand the diagram. 2/6 means 2 parts out of 6 equal parts. Multiplied by 5 means adding 2 6 5 times. Now count the number of shaded portions. Total 10 parts are shaded out of 6 equal parts. So our result will be 10/6. Now look at what we get is 1 whole 4 by 6. Because after shading 10 parts, we get 1 whole shaded figure and 4 out of 6 shaded separately. Solving multiplication questions through diagram is time-taking and tricky, so we have to go for another method. Here we go. Now I have a question 7 8 of 9. This 9 will be considered numerator and 1 as its denominator. Multiplying fractions is often considered easier than adding because it involves few steps and doesn't require finding a common denominator. So to multiply, remember these steps. Multiply the numerators. Number 2, multiply the denominators. Number 3, simplify the answers. So here in this example, we will multiply 7 by 9. We get 63. And 8 by 1, we get 8. Now that as you can see, we have an improper fraction. And simplified form of improper fraction is always a mixed number. So our required answer will be 7 whole 7 8. To learn how to convert an improper fraction to mixed number, see complete lecture 3, link is provided in description. We multiply fractions to find the product of two fractional quantities. When we multiply two fractions, you are determining how much of a fraction of one fraction you have. The process involves multiplying the numerators together to find the new numerator and multiplying the denominators together to find the new denominators. Now we are going to multiply a fraction by a fraction. First understand it through diagram. As you can see, first fraction is shaded blue and second fraction is shaded pink. We can multiply by mixing both figures together. After mixing, we get this purple shaded part. This is our required answer. Means 6 by 20 is our answer. This was for your understanding, but we will not go for this method. So we will follow our steps. We will multiply numerators and then we will multiply denominators. So when I multiply 2 by 3 I got 6 and 5 by 4 I got 20. So 6 by 20 is our required answer. As you can notice that answers are same for both methods. But this answer is not in its simplest form. So simplest form of 6 by 20 is 3/10. Remember one thing, fraction requires a series of steps to be followed. I suggest my viewers to watch all my previous lectures 1 to 5 to understand all these steps. Watch lecture 4 complete to learn how to simplify fractions. Link is provided in description. When a fraction is multiplied by another fraction, the result is a fraction or a whole number. Now let's see whether its answer is a fraction or a whole number. I would like you to grab a pencil or a paper and remember all the steps. As you know, our first step is to multiply numerators of both fractions, then multiply denominators of both fractions, and then simplify the resultant fraction. So we multiply 5 into 3 and 10 into 6. We get 15 by 60. Now we will simplify both numerators and denominators, and for this we have to find out their common factors. As you can see here, the common factors of 15 and 60 are 5 and 15. We can divide both numerators and denominators by 5 and 15, but it is better to divide them with greatest common factor, which is 15. So after this step, we got a simplified form that is 1/4. Now let's check out these real life situation problems, which requires multiplications. The word of in fractions require multiplications. Now let's start understanding the concept and solving them. I hope you remember all the steps. Our first problem is to calculate 2/3 of 9 flowers. As I told you in the start of video that sometimes we multiply to get part of something. Here 2/3 of 9 flowers means how many flowers out of 9 represents 2/3. If we start solving them following the steps, we get 18 by 3. By dividing 18 by 3, we get 6. It means 2/3 of 9 flowers means 6 out of 9 flowers. We can also solve questions of multiplication by changing the order of steps. Now we will simplify fraction first using division, then multiply. I know you are thinking about why division in multiplication. Don't worry, here division means simplification of fraction. So our first step is to simplify fractions through division, then multiply numerators and denominators. Now look at this example. If 4/5 students out of 20 students wear glasses, how many students wear glasses? So we have to calculate 4/5 of 20. As our first step is to simplify fractions, we can divide any numerator by any denominator if possible. Here you can see 20 is divisible by 5, as 20 is numerator and 5 is denominator. As 5 times 4 is 20, and 5 times 1 is 5. So after division, fraction is reduced. Now multiply both numerators and denominators. We get 16. It means 16 students out of 20 wear glasses. Easy? Simplifying fractions before multiplying can make the calculations easier and help reduce the final fraction more efficiently. For example, if you simplify first, you might avoid multiplying large numbers and then having to simplify a large fraction later. So it's better to simplify first then multiply fractions. Now we have another problem. Susan has 4/12 of pizza. Her brother ate 2/3 of it. Exactly what fraction of pizza he ate? Here we will multiply to see how much pizza represents 2/3 of 4 by 12. Before multiplication, we have to simplify the fraction. As I told you, we can divide any numerator by any denominator or any denominator by any numerator if possible. So here this 12 is divisible by 2 and it is also divisible by 4. You can divide this 12 by any of them, but I will divide it by 4. As you know, 4 times 1 is 4. And 4 times 3 is 12. Now we get 1 by 3, which is a reduced form of 4 by 12. And no more division is possible in this question now. Start multiplying the numerators and denominators. We get 2 by 9. It means her brother ate 2 by 9 of pizza. As we simplified the fraction at first step, so there is no need to simplify in the last step. I hope you find it very easy. Now rewind this video a little bit to recall all the concepts and methods and start solving these questions. Keep in mind the steps and I hope you will solve them in no time. To conclude, multiplying fractions is a powerful tool in mathematics that allows us to find a fraction of a fraction. Whether you are dealing with measurements, probabilities, or scaling, by simply multiplying the numerators and denominators, we can efficiently solve problems and understand how different parts relate to each other. Remember, simplifying fractions before multiplying can make the process smoother and the results clearer. Thanks for watching, and I hope this explanation helps you confidently tackle fraction multiplications in your own work. Like this video, and if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe and watch all my previous lectures, and my upcoming lecture is about division of fractions.